Coin on.
Hello, YouTube coin community. It's me, Robert, with Coin Op. Today, we're going to be looking at the Lincoln Memorial cents from 1959 to 2008. We're going to concentrate on the transitional errors. I'm going to add a few other of the varieties that were also done throughout those years just because they occurred because of the transitions. So, like I say, we're only going to go to 2008. 2009 is actually a transitional also. However, there was no errors in that. The ones I want to be specifically looking at are going to be the ones that you can find one of two, and usually one of the transitional errors is scarce and pretty valuable. So let's get started. When coins are made, they start out with a master hub. From 1907 to 1980, the first two digits of the date would be added, for example, the 19. The mint would use the master hub to make a few master dies at this point. From the master dies, the mint would take and make several working hubs, and the working hubs would then make the working dies. The working dies are what is used to strike the coins themselves. Knowing that history, in 1960 the United States Mint originally made the 60 date with what is known today as the small date. Now there's plenty of discussion as to why they converted it over to the large date, but later in that year that's exactly what they did. For a time in the 60s, both the large and the small date hubs were being used simultaneously to make the working dies. A working die needs to be hubbed more often to bring the relief up, and apparently somewhere along the line the hubbings got mixed up, and this is how we got the small over large date and the large over small date Lincoln cents for that year. You may want to review that part a couple times to get a better understanding of the minting process. This graph is from CoinHelpU in order to give you a better understanding of how the mint dies are made. I'll leave a link in the bottom description if you would like to go there and look at it a little better. In 1970, we have a similar occurrence that happened when there was two different master dies were produced from two different master hubs. At least one of the proof dies was hubbed using both the small and the large date working hub, giving us the large over small date variety for that year. I'm also including the 1970S large date double diavers, which is known as Viva Stanton 101, only because it has a good value and is worth anywhere from $5 to $37,500 for higher examples. Next, we're going to look at the 1974. The Avers hub used in 73 was the same one used to make the new dies. About the middle of the year, a new master hub was made, and it continued throughout the rest of the year. This year also showed that in 1974, the Denver Mint had experimented with an aluminum piece. There is only one example of this coin that can be legally owned. At the only sale I am aware of, it sold for $250,000. Not bad. Next, in 1982, with the rising cost of copper, the mint had started to look for alternative compositions for the cent. A combination of zinc and copper plating was chosen. The cores were made of 99.2% zinc and 8% copper, making the total percentage 97.6% zinc and 2.4% copper. At the same time, the relief was also reduced slightly to increase the die life. Also, in 1982, the obverse master hub was changed, making the bust and date noticeably smaller. Both designs were struck on both compositions in 1982 at the Philadelphia Mint. Apparently, in Denver, the 1982 D large date was struck with both the copper and with the copper-coated zinc. As of this recording, the 1982 Denver small date was only thought to be struck in the zinc. However, one example was struck with a 95% copper, 7% zinc composition and sold for $18,800 in the August 2017 Stack's Bowers auction galleries. February 15th of 2019, NGC confirms a second bronze example of the 82D small cent. Each time I pick up a 1982 small date Lincoln cent, I have to take and get my scale out, A normal one would weigh 2.5 grams, but if you happen to find one that weighs 3.1 grams, you will definitely need to get it authenticated. In 1988, the Mint was working on modifying the design of the reverse of the Lincoln Memorial cent for the following year in 1989. But sometime during that year, the newly modified dies had made its way into the business production and was used on both the Philadelphia and the Denver Mint. The easiest way to tell would be the crossbars in the designer's initials. These command a little bit of a premium, but are well worth looking for in your change. Finally, in this video, we're going to review the 1992 plain and Denver Mint Lincoln cent. You have both the normal and the close AM. This is also a transitional, as they were going to change the reverses in 1993. While searching, if you happen to locate a 1992 close AM, they run in value in uncirculated from $8,000 to $26,000. Or the 92D close AM, they run between $3,750 and $12,000 for higher grades. I have yet to locate an example of this variety, but I turn over every 1992 to look on the reverse to see if I have the close AM.